Today we're breaking down one of the most important and overlooked shots in pickleball, the serve. Whether you're just starting out or looking to add more consistency and power, this video will give you a clear breakdown of what matters most. So let's start with what might be the most important part of the serve, which is watching the ball at contact. It sounds pretty simple, but you'd be surprised by how many players, even in the advanced ones, look at their target instead of the ball when they swing. The problem with this is, if you're not looking and seeing the ball at contact, you're way more likely to miss hit. And if you miss hit, you're not going to hit your target anyway, so it's a lose-lose. And not only does focusing on the ball help you make clean contact, but it also stops your head from moving around too much during the motion. I used to be, and still sometimes am, very guilty of this. I'd lift my head or turn it mid-serve thinking I was creating momentum or using my body. But in reality, I was just faking weight transfer with head movement. And it's this head movement that actually pulls your body off balance and makes clean contact even harder. So it's pretty much the opposite of what you want. A trick that's worked for me in tennis and something that I apply in pickleball is trying to keep my eyes locked on a contact point until I fully follow through. Like until your arm wraps around your body. Pretty much you want to maintain eye contact with the ball long enough to where it would be awkward if you were on a date. And, some of you might be wondering, how am I supposed to hit my target if I'm not looking at it? Which is a great question. This is where the visualization comes in. One of the most effective things I've taken away from tennis and brought into pickleball is mentally visualizing my target during the swing. So a little tip you can try is wherever you want to serve, imagine there's a small red cone sitting in that spot. And as you serve, throughout the whole motion, picture yourself knocking over that cone with the ball. So this visualization tip allows you to keep your eyes on the ball and maintain target awareness. It's a simple trick, but a complete game changer. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about the starting position and how to build momentum using proper weight transfer. So you want to start with a low, wide, and athletic stance. Think of it kind of like setting up a tripod. You widen the base to make it more strong, balanced, and steady. Starting off with a stable base allows you to explode through the serve instead of just swinging with your arm. So now is where the weight transfer comes in. As a tennis player in tennis, generating power comes from loading the legs and transferring your energy forward, and it's something that I bring into my pickleball game as well. So here's sort of how I think about it. I start in my low athletic stance, then I push off with my back leg and let my momentum carry me through and into the court. Just a little bit, you're not jumping into the court or anything, but just slightly into the court, almost like you're launching yourself forward, but with control. The key is that your front leg leads the motion and your back leg catches you at the finish to keep you balanced and ready for the next shot. So make sure to push off your back leg into the court and then almost as if you're leaning through it, then you catch yourself again with your back leg as it swings forward. This ensures you're going to have proper weight transfer and gives you some extra power on the serve. If it helps, you can imagine stepping into a long stride, like you're lunging forward to catch something, but instead of falling, your back leg regains control and stops you from falling over and overcommitting. This way, it gives your serve rhythm, flow, and momentum without losing your balance. Now let's break down the contact point. You don't want to strike the ball too far in front of your body because then this doesn't leave room for you to swing through the ball. And you don't want to make contact too close to your chest because this can restrict range of motion, leading to less power. The ideal contact point is where you can fully extend your arm and swing freely through the ball with just enough space to rotate and generate power. A trick that's helped me in both tennis and pickleball is imagine there are 3 balls in a row that you need to hit through. If you're trying to hit through all 3, you wouldn't just stop at the first one and lift, brushing up your paddle. You'd swing through all 3 of them. This mental cue trains you to stay through the shot, keeping your form stable, and avoid pulling off early. It's a simple visual that leads to way more consistent, repeatable, and powerful serves. Wrapping up, we're going to talk about the follow-through and the paddle face. One of the most common mistakes I see is players trying to create spin by closing their paddle face too early or just keeping it at an angle, thinking that this will generate more spin. That actually reduces the amount of surface area the ball can make contact with, which leads to shanks, mishits, and lost control. Instead, whether you're using an Eastern, Continental, or Semi-Western grip, you need to think about your paddle face at 3 key phases. So you start pronated as your wrist is rotated slightly inward as you prepare, with the paddle more or less facing down. At contact, your paddle is supinated, which means your paddle face opens up, allowing for clean centered contact and depth. This also gives the ball more surface area to make contact with at the paddle, making your serve much more reproducible than it would have been. And at finish, you want to end at a pronated position. So your paddle will naturally return to a closed position. So yes, your paddle will close at the finish, but it should happen after you hit and make contact with the ball, not before. This supination to pronation helps you to generate natural spin and power without sacrificing control. If you'll remember the 3-ball visual that I talked about a little earlier, that still applies here. So you hit through those 3 balls with an open paddle face, then let your paddle rotate and finish off closed. It creates a whip-like motion that's smooth, powerful, and consistent. And one last final tip, always be adjusting your target. If you're hitting too deep, aim just a little shorter. If you're hitting low, aim a little higher. Your follow-through gives you the feedback, and that's why you got to make sure to listen to it. A lot of people blame their technique, their weight transfer, or follow-through, or any number of things on why they're missing their serves. But in reality, if you're following all of these technical tips, your serve technique is going to be sound. So chances are, if you're missing your serve, it can be fixed with a simple adjustment of target and where you aim. So like I said, just do the opposite of where you're missing. You're missing in the net, aim a little higher. You're missing deep, aim a little shorter. It's as simple as that. There's no need for a long-winded explanation. These tips that I've been using for years in tennis have truly transformed my pickleball serve, and I know they can do the same for you. But here's the thing. You can watch as many instructional videos as you want, but none of it matters unless you actually put it into practice. So take these concepts, visualize your target, lock in on clean contact, use your legs and swing through the ball, and start repping them out. Work them into your routine, and you'll start to see your serve become more consistent, more powerful, and a whole lot more deadly. If this video helped you at all, drop a like and comment what part of your serve you want broken down next. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss more breakdowns like this one. We'll see you on the court.